And welcome to PDQ Live. We had just a weird little pause there because I couldn't hear Kelly, but hi, we're live. We're super professional here at PDQ.
That was the greatest, just like awkward pause intro that we've had in a minute.
Both of
Kinda how
us
we
are like
roll
kind
here.
of thumbs in the air, like we're jump.
I don't know why I couldn't hear him, but you know what? We're PDQ,
So we're
so
looking at Tara like, are you gonna me?
We need the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. The show, we sit in silence.
All
We do,
right.
we
What are we
do.
talking about today,
Did
Tara?
you have a
Actually-
look on your face? I wanted to see it.
I just had the 1,000-yard stare. It was just like, and then my brain turned off. I was like, am I supposed to be saying something? I don't know.
Good, I like it. That's
Yeah.
us. All right.
We're going to
We-
start with something different today.
Yes, we are.
yes.
Yes, we are, Kelly.
Because we have had over 1,000 people enter for our Sysadmin Day giveaway.
It's almost like they like computers or something.
Yeah, giving away a Corsair build kit.
I'm so glad everyone's here to watch me win.
They want you to put it together, by the way.
Here's the sad thing: employees are not eligible to win. I hate to burst your bubble, but we are. I put all 1,000 whatever on a big wheel, and we're going to spin this wheel here in just a minute.
Spin the wheel.
Yeah, so the deep, dark sound to build the excitement. Here we go. Ready? Spin the wheel. And it's slowing down, and it is landing. It is landing on Patrick Daniels.
Yay, Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick Daniels, congratulations, my friend. You just walked away with a little over $2,000 Corsair build kit. Very exciting. We'll be getting a hold of you via email, so I hope you gave us the right email. Otherwise, you're out of luck,
Yeah.
buddy.
Is Patrick here?
I don't know. It would be really cool if he was.
It would
would
be
be.
really cool.
You got yourself a new gaming PC. Congrats.
There you go, Patrick. Well done. Well done.
I love it.
Mike says, must be present to win.
No. It's a great idea, though.
What Discord really wants to see is for us to put it together live and you really to put it together and me to compulsively wire manage to watch your blood pressure go sky high. That's what they really want.
Why is everyone obsessed with sending me to an early grave?
Be hilarious, though. Okay. Kelly,
Yeah.
we got to give these away.
Let's do that at the end.
At the
Okay.
end. Yes, sir.
At the end.
All right. Okay. Socks
Let's
to
do
the
it.
end.
Okay. W. Foreman said, you spelled my name wrong.
Yes, we did, Wendy. Sorry about that.
That's hilarious.
So today, in honor of the big, event, the big sporting event happening in Paris, y'all were going to start with kind of a gold, silver, and bronze tech roundup, were you not?
We are.
Dun, dun, dun.
We are. Yeah.
New segment coming our way.
How are we gonna do this thing?
What should we do, Josh?
Do you want to go first? Are we gonna let the audience vote, like on their gold, silver, bronze?
Sure.
Yeah,
Or
we
if
may
they
as well.
agree or not?
This is gonna-
if they agree with your choices.
This is going to be
Yeah, okay.
surprising to absolutely no one. Josh and I did not agree. This is a new little segment we're going to try out today. This is the first one. What are we going to call it? The tech No, not. No.
Can't say that word.
I didn't.
Can't say
I
that
didn't. It
word.
was a
The
partial
tech
word.
roundup.
It's just a tech roundup. And you're going to start with your bronze medal winners.
All right. Who's the
Okay?
bronze medal? All right, Tara, you're up. Who's your bronze?
What's my bronze? Okay,
Did you
didn't see
forget?
it. Yeah, I did. Oh my gosh. Well, I found like 700. All right, so this week in tech, we're looking at things that happened in tech this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the DigiCert, and we disagree on this, right?
We did.
Shocking.
We both had it in our top 3, though.
Yeah, we did. So
Okay,
that's
so
kind of
it's,
exciting.
okay. Are you gonna explain the Digiser thing?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I actually read about this quite a bit, and I was actually laughing as I read more and more. So I want to pull it up because I know we talked about this yesterday, but this was hilarious to me.
Okay.
Because as you read this executive summary, essentially in 2019, the internal audit that they did, and as you read through this, I was cackling.
Sure.
They're like, oh, we did an internal audit, but oopsie, we didn't check for CNAME in our internal audit, and so we called ourselves good. And then 5 years later, let me finish, and then you can take your turn. Okay. 5 years later, we decided to, because someone told us we screwed up, and according to this governing body, see, here's where the root cause analysis. This governing body told us that we screwed up. So on June 11th, 2024, we did another audit and realized, oh no, we are supposed to do that. So CABF participants suggested we do another review. And turns out we didn't do it correctly. So we went back and corrected it. And now, because we didn't do it right, you guys all have 24 hours to fix your stuff and follow these guidelines that we just set forth, or we're going to revoke your certificate. So this is hilarious to read through, by the way, if you haven't.
Well, sure.
So I ranked it third only for this reason.
Okay, this is my gold medal because it's the This Week in Tech.
I know.
Spoiler alert, this is my gold medal.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, it is a big deal, right? That
It is a big
leading
deal.
underscore in CNAME validation was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I think we disagreed about it because it was like, oh, well, it's only like, what, 0.4% of their customers?
Yeah.
That's like 80,000 certs.
But remember why I disagreed that it was not gold? Only because unless you're hosting something that absolutely needs to be secure and you were like, you laughed at me. That's why I didn't put it as a gold.
Well,
That's the only reason.
remember, you can use a TLS cert for all kinds of things,
Yeah.
including authentication, machine-to-mean, authorization, all kinds of stuff. And I don't actually want to make fun of DigiCert. I think they did the right thing.
Well, they had to.
Right? They do the right thing here, and everyone wants to give them crap. Well, it's 24 hours. I'm like, yeah, that sucks. But at least they didn't just kind of sweep it under the rug and be like, oopsie whoopsie.
They had to.
Yeah, they came out and said it.
They had to, because if you actually read down, they were going to lose their ability to host if they didn't do it.
Well, yeah, they'll revoke your
Yes.
CA status.
Yes.
Like thou shalt is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is my gold medal this
Okay,
week in tech.
yeah.
But it's your bronze.
That's my bronze, yeah.
All right. My bronze.
Yeah.
My bronze was Microsoft 365 and Azure outage. Again, it's getting old.
Well, so did you? I'm sure you did, because you're you. You saw that it was a DDoS attack, though. That's kind of scary, Josh.
It's getting old, though. Like, we should be past this. So
Okay.
this is my This Week in Tech. Like, Microsoft, please, please
Yeah.
make it stop.
Yeah.
Okay, ready to move to silver?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Tara, what's your silver? Same one.
Microsoft.
Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to look. I'm like, what is my silver?
And
Oh, yeah.
Josh.
Yeah, here's my update. Here's the update. I saw this on the XDA developers forum for 13-14 gen Raptor Lake damage. It's permanent.
Yeah.
It's for real. There's no fix. Intel's not going to do anything about it. And it's pretty widespread. It's any of those 13-14 gen Intel chips that are at 65 watts or higher. So it's more widespread than the i7, i9 that were initially come out. And the damage that happens is permanent to those chips. They're not doing RMAs. But thankfully, Intel did say that they are going to release a microcode patch that should mitigate the issue. It's pretty low level if you want to go read about it, but it's still kind of a pain. So that's my oops Intel and my little let's go AMD. I'm just going to sneak that in there. Let's go AMD.
Okay. Are we ready to go for the gold?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Tara, your gold medal winner.
This was a big oopsie, but also I love that they owned it, and it's not as bad as it sounds because they published it. They didn't have to. And yes, they did do 4 interviews of a North Korean hacker. Okay. They did send him a laptop,
Yep.
but here's how, in my opinion, it's a win. And there's a couple things. They said on a laptop, as soon as he turned it on, he downloaded malware, right? As soon as the malware started downloading, their system caught it. And they were aware immediately. And
Yeah.
they reached out and like, hey, what you doing?
What you doing, bud?
And then they tried to contact him. He immediately acted sus. Look, I know a cool word. Did you hear that? I said sus. And then they were like, hey, what are you doing? Where are you at?
Great.
And he immediately was acting really dodgy. And they acted that day, that second. So
Yeah.
the IT team did really, really well, in my opinion.
I think it's like a gold medal. It's like a
Yeah.
gold medal oof, but also a gold medal great response.
Yeah.
And I think a great response from KnowBe4 in general as a security awareness company to call their own. We learned,
Yeah.
and you should learn too.
But if you read in, here's what you learned from this thing, the only part that I want to ask your opinion on this, they said future lessons or whatever they called it, watch where the laptop is reporting in from. How are you going to do that? You could always spoof geolocation.
Sure, you
I don't get that.
can. You can. It's like it's a data point, right? It's not a definitive data point, like unless you're NSA, CIA, like an IP address, and like you see in the movies. Oh, I know they're at this address. Yeah, freaking right. You got to get every carrier in the middle to agree to that type of investigation.
Yeah, I didn't agree with that.
But it's not just so dismissed. Like it is a data point, and you should be using that. I think.
But if I'm a hacker worth my salt, can't I spoof that?
Yeah, you connect to a VPN, but there is that time in the middle, right? Like you have a laptop, you have to connect, you have to get a line to get onto VPN. There's some observability opportunities there.
Sure. Okay.
Josh's gold medal.
All right, my gold medal. We're back to DigiCert. I just thought this was an ouch, like for the community. If you were an impacted person, they initially said you had 24 hours.
Then they came back and gave you some leeway.
Then you could ask for some extensions here. I'm curious if anybody was impacted and what they ended up doing there.
Yeah, it was yesterday, right? Yesterday afternoon you had to renew it?
I think that was the deadline, unless you contacted them for some specific thing.
Yeah, I'd be mad. Furious, in fact.
It was probably, the timing of it is poor. I imagine the person that's in the CrowdStrike and then immediately into a DigiCert and you use certs for like endpoint validation.
Yeah.
You just had a rough 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
There you go.
This Week in Tech. Let's quick roundup.
I'm singing the Rocky theme song in my mind right now.
Well, you can't sing it though because
I'm not.
we'll get in trouble.
I know, but I'm
But
just,
we can tell everyone
yeah.
else to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just telling you.
Alrighty. Should we jump into our discussion topic this week? Should we got something
Okay,
else?
let's do it.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Oh, we're giving shirts away or socks away, Kelly, or what do you want to
Are
do?
we doing the end?
End of show.
End of show. Okay. What are we going to talk about today, Josh?
All right. I think we were going to end up talking about some decision making, right? If we start talking about deploying inventory versus connect, what do you use when? Right, like I think we hear a lot of time, hey, there's job to be done overlap, they're solving the same task, and we just are hearing this quite often, like, what do I choose?
Yeah. Well, and we had some good discussions this week.
Yeah.
Kind of like, what is the right tool for the right environment? And it really kind of made us think about some things. And of course, I talked to everyone in the building.
Yep.
I'm me. So maybe let's talk about the differences and talk about your environment first. That's the start,
Okay.
where you start.
Yeah, I think that's the best place to start, right? Is talk about your environment. Talk about what is your approach to patch management? What is your approach to software deployment? What is your business?
Hey, we're done. Mike just answered. We don't even need to continue.
All right, yeah, all right. Well, great show, everybody.
Great show, everybody. Goodbye. Mike actually just nailed it. Yeah, if you're on-prem, single location DNI, various locations,
Yeah, like
multiple
physical
data centers.
Physical topology is definitely a consideration, right? DNI you can use as remote devices if you're doing VPN stuff, and it's physical topology dependent is a single kind of component in this decision-making framework, right?
Yeah.
There's obviously some licensing decisions that are in here as well,
Pricing's different.
right? Pricing is just different for deploying inventory. It's how many admins are using, product versus how many devices
Yeah.
are being managed.
When we bill by admin,
Yep.
one's devices, right?
Yes.
Some key differences. So how many machines do you have?
Yeah, how many are they?
Yep.
Where are they?
Yep.
And then what is your tolerance for speed? Like both products are objectively fast, but I'd argue that Connect is faster,
Okay.
right? So what is your speed requirement here, too, right?
Can I ask why it's faster?
Well, imagine a situation where you've got 500 devices,
Okay.
right? And your 500 devices that are spread across a couple locations. If I have a single distribution point, classic, like deploying inventory,
Yep.
that single distribution point either has to push and or instruct targets to pull software, right?
Yes.
Like if you're doing pull methodology, then you're going to pull it. If you're pushing, you're pushing it. So that's a one-to-many type thing, and it's only so big. In a Connect world, right, where you're over here and you've got 500 devices, if I say go, the PDQ infrastructure is fairly robust that all 500 of your devices are going to start right then.
Yeah.
Right, so it's faster. It's not like this leaps and bounds, but objectively is faster.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Can I ask a question that we actually started wondering this week? And not of you. I want to ask the audience.
Yeah.
Is anyone using Connect and DNI in their environment
Yeah.
concurrently?
Yeah.
Because so we thought of a situation where we would use both, but I want to know if anyone is currently doing it. Because so here's a couple. Oh, Alex, yeah, here's a couple things we thought negatively, and we're just going to be fair and honest and forthright because that's how we roll. Looks like if you already are. We would if we had the money.
Yeah, okay. Got
Okay.
it. Connect for work from home laptops, right?
Yeah.
So that's the exact situation that we started talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and also, so let's go back to last week, CrowdStrike, right?
Okay.
If I have an air gap network, doesn't it make sense that I would?
Topology.
Doesn't it make sense that I would stay with DNI?
You have
Say
to.
I have 500 machines that are air gapped, and I never ever want them to
Yeah.
be.
Well, you have to
exposed.
because Connect doesn't even work in that environment, right?
Yeah.
Like, but you probably likely aren't all air gap.
Okay.
Okay. So there's some topology decisions there. There's some pricing decisions. There's some speed decisions. And then there's overall kind of like protocol level decisions that you can make as well. Right. And we can talk about some of the
Mike's
protocols
training.
and credentials that are involved, right? So
Yeah.
we think about deploying inventory, SMB, RPC, DNS, kind of a traditional Windows tech stack that we're dependent on, right, to sit on top of with deploying inventory, which is great if you're already using it. If you're coming into something brand new and you don't have that or you don't want that, right, maybe your company or your IT department or you've decided, you know what, I'm going to go away from the traditional tech stack and go into some, don't trust any endpoint, cloud-only model, then Connect's probably the better choice, right? Because then we're just doing stuff with HTTPS, like the rest of the internet. So there's a decision and an inflection point there as well.
2 instances of deployed inventory. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, question, and I think I want to know the answer to this. This is more of like a fact-finding mission for me. How much extra work is it to maintain the 2 packages, 2 collections, 2 groups in Connect and DNI if you are running 2 concurrently? I'm genuinely interested because I can make a case for it being a very kind of a good model, actually. I'm wondering.
This has been a question that we've kicked around internally a ton, right? Like, what does the lift look like? And I'm curious what the people that are running both is. What does that lift look like in practice?
Some people are saying it's easy.
Yeah, I remember when we did it internally, right? We did the internal lift and shift from an internal deployed inventory to an internal connect.
Yeah.
We did it very early in Connect days, right? We didn't have I think there was like just an install step at the point that we did it. There were other steps, and it took some finagling, but we did it. But at this point, if it's pretty cut and dry for packaging across the board, I do think the challenge here is probably in collections and or dynamic groups, and only because the collection logic, the way that it's presented, is different.
And Alex is saying jargon's different, extra step different. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
Exactly, right. So if I'm looking at an inventory collection, it says like all software, not any member of group, whatever, that type of thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't translate directly into Connect dynamic groups.
Yeah.
The logic does, just not the words.
Well, and because when we first started talking about this, remember my reaction when Kelly was bringing it up? I'm like, no, I would never do it. I can't mix the 2 because I'm just so that way. And then the more I thought about it this week, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can see how that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
To separate it out. And what I would do is in Active Directory, I just have an OU and say, these are my on-prem machines. They never leave. They never, ever leave. I would just segment it that way. If it's going to be cheaper for me, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Exactly.
But then I thought, how much work is it actually? And I think what I'm seeing in the chat is it doesn't sound like it's that much more work.
No.
Am I misreading what they're saying?
I don't think so. But it's definitely one of those,
I got to get tissue, sorry. It depends, yeah.
Right, like the classic, it depends. Like, how much work is it? Well, it depends. Do you have machines that are sometimes on-prem, sometimes not? Do you have machines that you just don't want to have to deal about the underlying Windows headache?
Yeah.
Like, let's call it for what it is.
Yeah.
If you're migrating away from Active Directory, like the on-prem flavor of Active Directory, maintaining that type of infrastructure is a nightmare.
Yeah, that would not
if you
be
don't
good.
have to do it. Right?
Yeah, that would not be fun at all. Variables for the win, says Mike. And you can't use inherited filters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Rob is saying Connect's lacking features. And I'm curious to hear, every time I see those, I'm curious to hear, what is it that's missing?
What features? Yeah.
Features individually, yep, get it. They're going to be different. But what are you trying to do in Connect that you can do in deploy and inventory? Like, what is that job that you're trying to do that you can't do.
Yeah, let's hear what they're missing, and maybe we can figure out a way to do that same job in Connect.
Yep. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see.
So speaking of, like, we were talking about a key difference here is Active Directory versus Entra ID, and we started talking about this yesterday as we were prepping for this.
I like to
webcast.
break Josh's brain a lot. I'm good at it. He actually said that to me. He goes, "You're breaking my brain right now," but this is a good thing to ask.
You asked a question that, in my mind, it like on the surface looked simple. It's like there's a simple
what I
answer
did.
to this.
I'm here for you.
But it wasn't. And it's not a simple answer, right? You asked, "Hey, why doesn't Connect automatically pull in devices from Entra ID the way that Inventory does from on-prem AD?"
Because it can't.
You're right. Like it can't. Like if we think about the way that they're working, this is one of those underlying. They're just solving the same problem differently.
Yeah.
Right? In Inventory, like to hyper simplify it, when I do an AD sync, it's an LDAP searcher that's getting computer names in an organizational you suspect that you want, and then just grabbing the DNS name and saying add as a target.
Yeah.
Like it's not doing anything fancy.
I know. And what I want it to do is just not even designed to do. I want it to behave as if I'm in a hybrid environment and say, here's my agent. Ooh, this is my target. Go deploy it. I know. It's dumb, but that's what I want it to do. But yeah. After we discussed it, I realized that's impossible.
And then the agentless, just with deploy and inventory, picks it up. Okay, that's a difference that we also didn't pick up and put down.
Yeah.
Is agentless versus agent-based, right? Do you want another agent? Yes, no. Do you care? Yes, no. It's kind of a thing there, right?
Yeah.
And also, what OSs are you supporting? I'm not so naive to think that there's not XP machines floating around in the world.
Well, let's
There's
try.
not Windows 7 boxes that are still in production.
Can we show them what we're talking about in Connect, though, so that maybe they can see
where do we
why
go?
it was so kind of interesting?
Where do we go?
Because I did go and make a group today.
Okay, show me.
Okay, so this is what I was asking Josh, so bear with me. So when I come down here, oh, not there, sorry, wrong, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. And you can see the Entra integration. So I couldn't see this before because the machines I have in here weren't synced up. So I had Josh sign in. So when you click on download device comparison, this is just going to give you the devices that aren't in your Connect instance that are synced to Entra ID, right?
Yes.
To the spreadsheet. I'm going to call it read-only in that it just gives you information.
Yeah, let's also keep in mind that the default behavior of Entra /Intune / whatever they want to call it next week is a bring your own device will show up in this report.
Yeah.
Right? Like one of your users signs into Outlook on their home computer, it's going to show up here even though it's not managed.
Okay, so that's just hard for my brain. I hate it.
But that's an Entra setting. That's an Entra setting. You can turn that off.
Okay,
I'm
I
just
will.
saying default behavior.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
So for someone like me, that's hard. I hate that. But anyway, okay. So what I said to Josh is, I don't like that. Which is probably not a great thing to say, but I'm just going to be real. I was like, what good is that to me? And that's stupid. I shouldn't say that. So we went on to have a discussion. So what this actually does, though, is once you turn this on, it populates information on the device itself. And that's what's helpful to me, right? So we're going to go back to a machine that I know is joined, and it's Brock's laptop. Okay, so if I come back to the Active Directory Entra groups, here now I can see these fields are populated. So what I can do from here is I can build a group to include or exclude this laptop from action that I may or may not take. Right?
Yes.
And that's what is going to be helpful to me.
Yeah. So we started this discussion asking, like, why can't I get the machines into here? Well, all right. You're right. Fair point. Edge, deploy, and inventory. You can get machines in the console. I could say, arguably, I can do the same thing with Entra. And the one thing I use Intune for, it's a app packager, is to push the Connect agent.
Yeah.
It's like, what is your job? Your one job is to make sure that the Connect agent's on these machines that are there, and then they automatically show up for us.
So this is what my head was like kind of breaking a little bit, and how I ended up breaking Josh's brain because I like to do that. But so let's look at the groups now.
Yeah.
Why can't I see groups all of a sudden?
They're up in the devices.
Thank
This
you.
is where you want to go. What group are you looking for?
Oh, the one I just made this morning.
There's a search button.
Will you type Entra, please?
There you
Okay,
go.
so I made this Entra group, and let's look at the filters that I made.
Yes.
Okay, so, and this was a little bit tricky, honestly. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
Before you came down, I'm like, Brock, my brain isn't working. Help me look at this.
Yeah.
So I think the easiest way to filter this is to look at what pulls on the device itself.
Always.
Always, okay.
It's the same thing for inventory. Like if you're building a collection or report and you want to like see what's at, open the device
Yeah.
that you're looking for in another window.
Yeah. So Active Directory and Entra groups
Yep.
is what we pulled, and then group name contains, and then corporate. Which, okay, can I just say corporate? Not in a million years would I look for corporate, because I was typing Entra.
Well, that's just the name that Jake has named a group.
In Entra.
In Entra.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
This is the group
So-
name in Entra. Entra. I don't know. I see that discussion.
Everyone's like, what's it called? Yeah.
But yeah, this is where it's helpful, and this is actually what I use it in inventory too. Like I might have a group of machines in Active Directory that's, I don't know, called webcast machines.
Yeah.
And I probably use that as a conditional clause.
Sure.
In the between the hours of 9:15 and 10:45,
Yeah.
don't touch. No
Right.
touchy.
Or these are sales machines. I want to deploy my sales software, and I'm going to target it that way.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
And this isn't the best example because I only have the one machine in here, and I don't have very many. I'm going to call them OUs. They're not called OUs. They're called computer groups. But this is where I would target.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's same, but different.
Yeah. Exactly. Same but different.
Okay. So
I don't know. I don't know if we like helped clear the water. Did we muddy the waters? I don't know. Do we have questions?
Kelly says we have a question.
have one question that it's a great question, as a matter of fact.
I like
It is, given today's discussion, would you recommend that a company that is mainly remote but also on-prem use both simultaneously? What would be the single convincing factor to use both? Maria S.
Ooh, that is a great question. And Maria, it depends on the scale. Honestly, if I was in your shoes, it would depend on the scale of both sides that I was thinking about. Do I have, how many devices are on-prem? Is it 100?
Yeah.
Is it 1,500? Is it 2? Right? There's probably, honestly, a financial use case for you in which it makes sense to use both. And then there's probably one where it doesn't.
Yeah, budget, staff,
Overhead.
overhead.
Yeah, is it not only a cost to maintain one, is it a cost to maintain both? Is it actual like raw dollar cost that's hitting your budget line? So I would have a use case where I did both, right? In most cases, if the scale deemed it necessary. If the scale was less necessary, right? Let's say we only have 200 devices in total, 200, maybe up to 500 devices in total, I'm 100% in the Connect camp.
I thought I was at the beginning of the week. Remember I said that to you?
Yeah.
Unequivocally, I was like, no way would I do that. And now I'm kind of changing my mind.
I'm 100% in the Connect tool because I'm seeing it's like, look, this is the way that I'm going in the future. I value speed and I value efficiency more than I value cost.
But you are happy and lucky to have a budget. What if you didn't? You might change your mind.
Nothing in life is free. Like, let's just
Yeah,
leave it at that. You're
that's
either
true.
going to pay for your something in dollars or you're going to pay for it in time. Nothing is free.
Well, that's true. I think it's all dependent on your environment, your budget, your staffing, your bandwidth. All those, you have to take all those into consideration.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not joking, you guys. I said this to Josh on Monday. I'm like, no way. I would be totally Connect. And
This
then
is
I've
all-
completely changed.
This is all a big, I guess you can sum up this entire webcast in probably 2 words. It depends. There you go.
Oh, Alex, the socks, Kelly.
Yeah. All right. Let's.
How are we supposed to give those away?
What are we doing?
We were deciding on who gave you the best phrase to
that was
say.
old PS Noob. He off of Discord.
Old
that was
PS Noob.
Yeah,
He loves
it was
socks.
it was the Liam Neeson stuff. Because that's a challenge but doable. So thank you.
Okay, old
There you
PS
go.
Noob, send us your information. These will be coming your way. Okay, are we doing?
No, we're good.
Oh, we're not doing anything. Okay,
We done?
Was there something else you wanted to do?
no. As always, I don't know what's going on.
We just show up.
we honestly just show up and Kelly tells us what to do. So
Apparently, it doesn't stick though. So there
not
you go.
really, not really.
So he goes, what do I even pay these people for?
We don't know. We don't know really.
All right. Well,
Okay. Thank you. Hopefully we answered some questions or muddied the waters. We're not sure which, but we were honest.
Yeah, let us know. It depends.
It depends.
Yep. Cool.
All right. Thanks for watching. For PDQ, I'm Tara.
And I'm Josh.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. If you liked this, do us a favor, like and subscribe. I'm not going to say smash that I hate that stuff. So just like and subscribe. Leave us your comments, and we will see you back here again next week.